Prince H. gun hiker extraordinaire, Dave Packard, who is only a winner in memory, Sam Alexander reminding you that the car batteries yearn for the sea, and shh, I'm Mike Gonsalves. Tonight we're talking about plowing again, shotguns and shushin'.
Okay, Mrs. Doubtfire.
I was going more for the mustached guy. I don't know.
I only heard Mrs. Doubtfire.
I was kind of
whole
getting
time.
I was getting a Vincent Price kind of vibe off of him, like "Hello, dear.
All of those
Welcome
are
to the
acceptable for.
creepy things." I don't know.
I'm good with all of this.
Why is everyone so quiet all of a sudden? Everyone
I
seems
think
quiet.
He let in with such a quiet intro that I'm just like I don't
We're
know
all
what to say.
so chill now.
I'm gonna take a nap. Bye, guys.
Actually, that sounds really nice.
So I see now that we are talking about plowing, plinking shotguns and shushing. So
I see plowing, owing, shotguns, and shushin'.
God, I can't fix this.
Just leave it alone.
There we go. Fixed it.
I
Plinking.
definitely said plowing twice. I was
I
like,
know.
okay, sure, why not? You know,
I saw that.
Dave's plowing, Sam's plowing.
Right. There's plowing twice. Sure, let's do it.
It's only been like 4 weeks, but whatever.
Jeez.
More.
Doesn't say anything, just takes a drink.
Fair enough. So, Vince, you took your shotgun for a walk?
Oh yeah, I went walking with my shotgun. It was real nice, real peaceful.
Did it enjoy it? Did it have a good time?
I think it had a good time. It was slightly damp, but not too bad. I went looking for turkeys and found no turkeys, but I did explore a new public hunting area, the Arbuckle Springs Wildlife Management Unit. It's about 3,000 acres of land in I guess they're not quite foothills of the Arbuckle Mountains, but you're starting to get kind of that. It's the Post Oak Prairie, which
Arbuckle Springs and Arbuckle Mountains.
The Arbuckle Springs Wildlife Management Area,
do you live in the Shire? Because that sounds like a Shire location.
It's Oklahoma. It's basically the Shire.
The Arbuckle Ferry over there.
You say that, but there's this one road that we take whenever we go to one of the places where we just go to camp with the kids, and I swear it's the Shire.
So Peter Jackson lied. They didn't actually film Lord of the Rings in New Zealand. It
was in Oklahoma, guys, the whole time.
It's the meme with the two astronauts. Wait, so it's just Oklahoma? Always has been.
Oklahoma, where they actually filmed the Lord of the Rings.
Okay, that's a little better. I thought you were actually going to do the whole when goes speaking of the plane thing.
No, there's like 15 miles of road, and you just drive straight in between two ridges that are perfectly manicured in like green grass, and it's just weird. And there's houses dotted all along down the road, and it's so quiet and peaceful.
Be better if the
Welcome to the Shire, buddy.
But no, I went looking around for turkeys, and I got there. I didn't try and get there super early. I got there about 9:00 and decided that I was just going to do what we talked about and walk and call and listen. And I did that for about 3 hours or so, up and down hill. And I heard absolutely nothing as far as turkeys go. And it's been raining here in southern Oklahoma quite a bit. And
It's
it was
also
nice
been like
and
throwing
moist.
things.
Yeah. Sometimes rocks throw themselves around. It happens. And
Try not to get yourself hit in the head with a rock that threw itself around.
Yeah. Yeah. I go in at least 10 minutes before that starts.
It was the swamp ape, not the rock didn't do it. The swamp ape did.
The skunk ape. That's
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah.
I can't. We just stick to normal Bigfoot up here. We don't have the variety.
There's a smaller subspecies down here that smells even worse. Yes.
Is it because it smells even worse, really, or how do we know it doesn't like to use skunks for deodorant? It just picks that skunk up and goes squirt.
Well, it's just willing to eat them, and yours aren't.
I mean, I've heard of people willing to eat skunks.
Yeah, but have you heard?
There was a
Bigfoot?
skunk that was roadkill outside on driving into a work.
You saying that skunk like the funk?
Yeah. It was a good looking skunk too, like
Won't you
all
take
clean
me
and
to
white, pristine looking.
Skunky.
And I drove past it like 3 times. Like, do I risk it? Do I risk trying to skin it? Do I risk trying to skin it? I eventually decided no.
Where was I?
Skunk ape.
Skunky
No,
Town.
Skunky Town. Yeah, that's where it was. There was I'm a bit disappointed actually in the spot I picked because I kind of just picked a spot, one of the parking areas, and walked in from there. And I saw no turkey sign while I was there. I probably walked about 3 miles total and didn't even see, a single track anywhere. Though I did see several deer, at least 4, all in velvet. So all bucks, all in velvet. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I was like, okay, I could see coming back here and poking around. It's archery only for deer season, but I can deal with that with a crossbow. One of the things, though, I think the weather might have been affecting whether or not turkeys were out strutting and looking for mates, because we were having it was overcast. It was spitting rain just a little bit, but not enough to really care about. But the wind was also up too, so I don't know if that would affect whether or not they're out strutting around or looking or gobbling. So I think next time, I'm pretty sure there's some department managed food plots, and I may go look around there, or I may go to a different area that's close by that I know has department managed food plots and look around there. But the ye old taped up double barrel did not get a turkey this time around.
Just about to ask
that's
if you took the side by side, you couldn't commit on.
Yeah, I took that. I decided to just go that direction with it.
Have you talked about what you did to that poor thing?
Oh, I have not.
Instead of doing the right thing, which would be just to get it over with and rattle can the whole shotgun.
Just put it out of its misery.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I have a Spanish made side by side 12 gauge that I think was probably made in the 70s sometime. But I picked it up whenever I was 15, I think, at a gun shop.
It's the 1970s equivalent of all the cheap Turkish shotguns we get now.
Pretty much, but like, oh, that's garbage, and then later on down the line, like, hey, those were kind of okay. You got any more of them Spanish shotguns? And
hopefully that doesn't happen with the Turkish bullpup shotguns, where 20 years from now, people are like, hey man, those were actually pretty good. You got any of those? They fetch a premium now.
Are you talking about like the $125 like break action ones?
It's just the random assortment of here's a Turkish shotgun, here's another Turkish shotgun.
No. Anyway, this one's, I don't know. It's weird. It's like they tried, but barely. Like it's color case hardened, and there's like scroll work on it and stuff, and it's blued, and it's not like parkerized, but it's also, I don't know, it's not an expensive gun. And I probably should just rattle can it or have left it the way it was. But what I did instead was I took painter's tape, and I hung the painter's tape up, and I spray painted my camo pattern on the painter's tape, and then carefully laid that around each barrel so that I had some kind of camouflage on it without damaging the finish that was on it. Theoretically, it may not have worked out too well because I was out with a little bit of rain, and if I got water underneath the painter's tape, I may still have rust on it, which would be worse. And then I'll spray paint it, so whatever, you get your way in the end.
It's just the long way around. I thought it was a fairly clever idea, actually. I had not thought of actually spray painting a tape and then putting the tape on the thing before.
Yeah, it's pretty
It
clever.
has the potential to work. I mean, honestly, I could probably get away with not spray painting the thing and just like sitting there quietly and then shooting the bird whenever it goes. But yeah, I thought it was pretty nifty.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, cool. So you know how all these tactical lever guns are the rage now?
Yeah.
Yes.
You should tactical the double barrel.
Oh, can we get a bayonet on it?
Yes.
Bayonet,
Bayonet
6
lug.
position stock.
It's got to have 2 bayonets.
Yeah, it's a double barrel. It needs double bayonet.
Okay, I'm only saying this because I played entirely too much Battlefield 1, and there is a double barrel shotgun in one of those DLCs, and it has just a spike bayonet coming off the end. It's the coolest looking thing ever. It's both the best and the worst gun to have in that game, because if you hit the guy, he's dead. If you miss, you're dead. If he has a friend, you're dead.
Jesus.
Is it, if it was 2 bayonets, could that technically be a tactical tong?
Gotta skewer my hot dog, gotta cook my sausages and my shotgun. Ooh.
It's a shot fork.
Hang on.
Anyway,
after you're done shooting with it, you can help tune a piano.
every time you press the trigger, like, dong.
Oh yeah, it's like a three prong flash hider on a rifle, but that much worse because they're a foot long.
There's a sadistic British soldier, and he's sitting there with his double barrel shotgun and his tang, and he's just lording over a German soldier, a German prisoner, and he's like, "You know what my favorite drink is? What is that? Tang!" And it stabs him with the bayonet.
I'm more thinking like you deploy the bayonet and it makes that sound like
Tang.
No, it makes the sound like a tape measure, like like
What is
It's
this
so long.
raggedy ass pointy thing on the end of this?
There's actually there's 2 triggers in the trigger guard and a third trigger. 1 trigger for each of the barrels and a third trigger because the third trigger actually activates the switchblade bayonet.
100%.
You press the
I would
trigger.
grab the wrong trigger on a turkey.
lines up on turkey.
Like full Wile E. Coyote.
Oh, boy.
That derailed quickly.
Anyway,
Oh yeah,
I love it.
totally. I'm gonna
Tactical
replace the
double-
vent rib with a pick rail.
Tactical.
just
No,
Full
wait.
pick
Mhm.
rail all the way down the.
But it's a double barrel.
down-
So if we're gonna have 2 bayonets, you gotta have 2 red dots.
both sided for different distances.
Yeah.
You have one red dot on each side. So to fire the
No,
right barrel, you
LPVO
turn
in
it
the
up.
middle, and then 1 red dot on the right at 45, and 1 on the left at 45, and I can rotate it either way.
Solid.
I can
Solid
shoot
plan.
180, bitch.
All right.
Anyway,
That's a great idea.
That.
Speaking of shooting 180, let's do a complete 180 and go to Sam.
Oh, you're talking about the? Is this some kind of segue?
Look at
off
you running the
180
show.
grain interlocks.
I'm trying
Oh,
to.
this is so bad.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It
Talk
was
about
better
shooting.
than it could have been. But I looked at the show notes as soon as you said that, and I knew exactly where this was going.
I
no,
put that together poorly in my mind, but I'm working on it.
It's fine. On Friday, I'm taking a day off work to go to the range up on some public ground, and I'm finally going to get a proper 0. It's not above my head for once on the the Great Lakes Firearms and Ammo, the 300 Win Mag,
Nice.
long action AR.
What ammo are you going to take up there?
I have all the ammo. I don't know.
300 Win
I
Mag,
have
I think.
like 4 boxes. Oh, yeah,
Shut up,
hopefully
Dave.
that one. I'm gonna try and shove a 30-06 in it and see what happens.
It falls through.
It's fine.
I don't know. I know I picked up a box of, this is where your segue was. I did grab a box of Hornady American Whitetail. I think so the recommended ammo list was 180 grain interlocks. It's in my truck. It might be 150 grain. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm going to be trying to get groups out at 700 yards. I just need to get a 0 on the thing and then try various ammos through it and see. I'm not sure even what my actual distances are going to be on Friday, because the area I'm going to, nominally, from what I've read, maybe my first time going up there, about 50 yards, but you can get a lot farther than that. And each of the little it's a shooting area on public ground, and basically there's, in quotation marks, bays where you can shoot at, but basically it's just like little drainages on the side of a mountain, and some of them you can get farther out on, some of them you can't. It just depends on which one you're in and how willing you are to walk downrange and potentially be up by somebody's ricochets out of another drainage. So yeah,
So I have a question.
I'm not going to answer it. Okay, fine.
I mean, you probably will. You said you're going to sight it in and then check out the various ammos. Why not just check out the various ammos? I mean, make sure the scope
Because
is
right now
actually
I have no idea where it's going to be hitting.
right. Make sure it's going to hit paper first and at least get it close. But
I bore sighted it, and then for some reason, when I look through it now, my crosshair looks crooked. So I don't know if I was just cross-eyed that day, or if I bumped it real hard, or if I'm stupid. But I got to get that refigured out. And then, I mean, when I say 0 it, I mean, I'm going to probably take the Hornady Whitetail, because I mean, I know Hornady's decent ammo usually, and then price point on it was pretty decent. I mean, it's still 300 Win Mag. It's still expensive as hell, but I don't know. When I say 0 it, again, it's not like I'm going to be like, ooh, super, but I want to get it to where it's actually hitting point of aim, point of impact, at least on one box of ammo. And then, yeah.
I'm still surprised that the American Whitetail is on the list of recommended ammunition. I mean, it's not bad, but also it's not anything special.
It could be worse. Could be Remington Core Lock.
yeah, I was going to. It could be Winchester White Box.
It could be
Ooh,
pretty
Winchester White Box 300 Win Mag. It just
Yeah.
sounds.
It sounds awful.
It sounds scary.
It could be PPU 10 millimeter, which I saw on Instagram blew up a
Ooh.
millimeter MP5 today. Garand
Ooh.
It's 10
Red
millimeter
Army Standard
MP5.
300 Win Mag. Steel case.
Hey, I love steel case. That's my
What's
jam.
wrong with steel case?
Joke's on you. It's a Sabo down to 243.
That's even better.
How do you say yeehaw in Russian?
Yeehaw.
Horsey, Comrade.
Somebody please put that in the show notes for me while I look at something. Horsey
Yeah, I'll do
Comrade. Please do it.
Horsey Comrade.
Then we're remembering that one. That'd be a great fucking sticker.
Dude, it actually, you're right.
Like Horsey Comrade. The problem is, maybe that's not a problem. It's so niche to like one episode that it'd be like perfect. It's like a little Easter egg. Horsey Comrade. Oh boy. Anyway, no, I'm gonna go do that on Friday with it. I'm doing more than just taking the 301 mag up, but that's one of the things I'm doing, is to finally get at least some groups with it, and then at some point I'll schedule out to go for longer range with it. And while I'm up there, if I have time, it's supposed to be raining, so maybe I'll be able to drop it in a puddle for fun.
That'll be a lot of fun. I was going to say
You said-
gross, but that's exactly what you wanted to do in the first place, is throw it in puddles for some reason.
I wanted to do more frozen creeks with it first, but it's been not a good spring for me to be getting outside to do stuff. So anyway, what's up, Vince?
You said you had the reticle cannon a little bit.
Yeah, Probably.
right? I was just gonna say I do that all the freaking time. Like I'm certain that I have this perfectly.
Oh, I did it on my laser. I did it on my laser level I use for work, and either I wasn't set up nice and level on the floor, or I'm just stupid. One of the two. Actually, I wonder if I forgot to unlock the laser level to where the little emitter wasn't actually hanging freely, and it was locked in position where it doesn't shoot perfectly level. That's probably exactly what I did.
I'm going to share a trick that I learned at a
What's her
certain
name?
box store. Yeah.
I don't share like that. That's weird.
Anyway, I used to work at Cabela's, and part of what we did was mount scopes. And I was like, "So how do we get it level?" And he was like, "All right, so you take this ladder over here," and he drags this ladder over here. He's like, "You see this this line on the floor? Yeah. All right. You line up the back of the ladder with the line on the floor. That's 25 yards from here to the wall over there." And I was like, "All right." And he goes, "All right, then you take it, and basically every single rifle that we're going to mount a scope on is going to have a flat magazine base. So you take the mag out, and you put the magazine base on the step ladder so that it's nice, flat, and level. And then you point the gun at the junction box 25 yards away on the wall down there, which is perfectly level and horizontal. And you basically just line up vertical, line up horizontal."
You have a lot more faith in electricians than I do.
They weren't my scopes.
Yeah, and there were many deer missed that year.
If people miss deer because of that, then nobody missed deer because of that.
Dude, I've read stories about African professional hunters who have clients show up and say, like, yeah, I had the guy at the store bore sight it for me.
Oh, no.
Take a peek through there. Oh, you got the X reticle, I see. Interesting. No, I'll just set it up on the floor again with my laser level and look through the scope and line up the the crosshairs in the scope with the line of the laser. It's easy enough to do. I probably just didn't unlock the laser when I did it, and then but no, same with you, Vince. When I looked down the thing, oh yeah, that's nice and level, and then however long it was again, I looked through the scope like that's crooked as shit.
It happens. I mean, you probably knew, but it does happen sometimes when you tighten the screws down. The scope will cant just a little bit when you get that last little bit of torque.
No, I know.
It's
I don't
really
think that-
That's why that's one of the reasons I hate the old Weaver scope rings that have the like little hook on one side and then two screws on the other.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So you're trying to like decide like, okay, I think if I torque it down and I've got the reticle canted this much, it'll torque it perfectly.
If I'm 3 degrees off, it'll pull it right into level.
Yeah, whoever invented those things, kill yourself.
That Weaver's long dead, man.
Kill yourself again.
You can't do that. It's entirely possible. I may have
Kick
somehow
the devil in the dick.
So he
It's
sends
entirely
you back so we
possible.
can kill you.
I may have
Again.
bumped it.
Where's he going to
because-
go? Cincinnati?
No, he's not going to be back very long.
Go
He's
back
just
to
going to be back
Cincinnati.
long enough for him to kill himself, and then
Go
the
to
devil will take him
Cincinnati
back.
and be forced to eat their chili for the next 4 years. He'll repent.
And it doesn't have beans in it.
Cincinnati, of course, doesn't have beans on it.
It's because it's not real chili.
Yeah, it's got noodles instead. It's
What the fuck?
It's an abomination.
It's just Southwestern spaghetti.
Welcome to Cincinnati Ramen. What would you like?
Chili.
What's your special?
Can I have
Basically
Can I
chili
have the
with
heart
ramen.
disease?
Well, that's like that. Have you guys seen the novelty cup noodles?
Yeah.
Yeah, the breakfast one that they had a little while
Mhm.
ago, and now they have an everything bagel one. I tried the breakfast one. I couldn't get the smell I think it was entirely in my head. I couldn't get the smell of maple syrup ramen out of my microwave for like a month. I'm pretty sure it was all up here.
Oh.
This one time, I
But I
made
had to
maple
try it.
bacon.
I couldn't walk past this without going, all right, fine.
It's probably not, it may be in your head. Like one time, I made maple bacon. I bought and cooked maple bacon like 12 years ago, and my wife has not forgotten that one time that I made maple bacon, and just cannot stand maple after that. She was pregnant at the time, in her defense, but
I was going to say elephants never forget, and that's just even more fitting.
she doesn't like you now.
Yep. Way to go, Mike.
That's 2 wives you've estranged.
She
She's going
listens to the show, so
She's
Well, I wasn't
going
gonna make
kill you.
That's fine. Put me out of my misery.
Fuck's sake.
you're also wrong, jackass.
Anyway.
No, elephants don't forget. And I was going to say neither do wives.
But you
Anyway.
didn't.
But you
Anyway.
didn't. You waited way too long for your freaking punchline.
So when I think of breakfast noodles, I just think of that scene in Elf where he's just mixing spaghetti and syrup together and just eating it with marshmallows and shit.
Ew.
Oh,
Uh,
it's almost as bad as marshmallow salad.
oh, with the chunks of fruit and shit in there?
And coconut.
I love
Oh,
that
yeah, I
shit.
hate coconut.
But
I hate
without the coconut was garbage. Like coconut just in general is not great.
She really hates you now.
Meh.
Oh, boy.
Oh, look. I didn't get any skin off my back. Sorry, Vince.
That's because it's all gone. Anyway, we had an original freaking topic thing that we got tangentially. Blah, 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 blah.
I forgot what
We
we're
got
talking
sidetracked.
about.
I don't know. I'm taking the 300 win mag out. I'm going to go bang, bang, bang with it. Bang, bang, bang with it. Bang,
Oh
bang,
yeah,
bang with it. Then I'm going to take it home and murder it with a hacksaw. Just kidding, ATF, to get the handguard down lighter, maybe. And that's about it. Oh, we were talking about crooked reticles, and that somehow led to breakfast ramen.
Because
One of these days,
crooked
I'd really,
reticles are like noodles. They are crooked.
one of these days, I'd like a roadmap for how we get to places.
that
But
seems perfectly
can't-
reasonable.
We can't
speaking
map
of
that out.
Friday,
It would look ridiculous.
guess who has 2 thumbs and threw out all his old Target stands because he was pretty convinced that I was not going to need them anymore. Because they were taking up so much damn space in my basement because I built them out of scrap 2x6s and stuff like that.
Oh, Jesus. 2x6s?
They were tall. They were big. Yeah. Well, because when we moved in this house, new construction zone, there's just scrap pieces of like cut off 3-foot lumber that just gets tossed in the dumpsters. And somebody may have put that in my van. And so because I had it and we were living in an apartment, I ended up putting together like 6 of them in the Home Depot, in the back of the Home Depot parking lot. And they were,
Hey,
a lot of them were built with 2x6s, and then they were also spaced apart to where they would accept 2x4s as the uprights instead of like 1x2s or 1x3s. Yeah, they were
if you got that skill saw, every 2x6 is at least 5.5 1x2s.
Dude.
My
You just rip that apart, like make extra.
Oh yeah. I'm probably gonna have to grab some. I was looking at Target stands and shields, like, ooh, and then it's like, man, there's. So now, because I was like, I'm trying to avoid having a bunch of wooden Target stands around, and I think I'm gonna have to go back to having, hopefully, smaller wooden Target stands around, because I'm not paying. I have these 2 little ones that I've used in the past going shooting on public land, and they're like 2 orange metal stakes, and they've got like little curly cues of metal welded onto them. This is a terrible description, but basically it's like 2 little clips on either side. So there's 4 clips in total where you can clip it to cardboard and then you push it into the ground, and between the 2 stakes, they're like little thin wire stakes, they hold up the target. I was thinking of grabbing a couple more of those, but then I remembered they're only like 52 inches tall. And I like shooting targets that are like me size tall if I can help it, not pointing down child size tall. That got dark. Midget size targets. I don't like shooting dwarves. We'll put it that way.
Roughly the height of a kneeling human. For
Yeah,
some
there
reason.
you go. No, I forgot that those were so short. So I was like, all right, well then I went and looked at other Target stands, and they have ones that are like more traditional. We put the 1x2s in, but they were $40 a pop, and they were plastic. I was like, all right, fine.
Are you shooting steel targets?
No paper.
Okay.
Steel at some point, maybe. The problem with steel is it's such a pain in the butt to lug around.
It's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
If I was gonna shoot something other than paper, like you have, did you ever get those that one TCRT target in the mail?
I have my TCRT targets. I have not set them up. I have all of the things. One of the things I was doing is I was adjusting my shooting setup I have behind my house.
Oh, wait one sec. Before we get too far, before I forget, what a TCRT is a company, and the targets they make are like the self-healing rubber stuff, and they make them in the shape of like little round gong hangers or little torso things, and supposedly you can shoot them 5,000 times in 1 square inch before they break. Anyway, I needed to explain that was before we were like TCRT, like everybody knew what the hell it was. Anyway.
Yes, thank you. They're basically a rubber target. I have 3 of the, I think, 6-inch or 4-inch hangers. I don't remember exactly, but I wanted a place to put them up where I had plenty of backstop because I'm not super compressed here with neighbors around, but I do, want to have a substantial backstop, and I fill tires with dirt and sand and compact them in. And I was waiting to get enough tires to have at least 4 or 5 stacks next to each other so that there wasn't any chance of, an errant round going somewhere it's not supposed to.
Yeah.
So I've been messing with that recently, trying to get those filled up. And I think at some point recently, like I recently bought the 1x2 that I need to set up the stand, and I may get those set up, but I have not yet.
No, all I was going to say is that
I just put out cardboard and shoot at cardboard, whatever.
Yeah, cardboard with paper targets stapled to it. I was thinking about maybe getting a couple of those at some point if I wanted to not deal with paper rather than going steel. Because steel is fun and all. Where steel comes in handy, where I have more interest in steel, is stuff that's longer range. And not like long range precision shooting, but like I know my rifle's zeroed. I don't have to worry about that. I just want to shoot something that's 400 yards away and not have to worry about driving down there to check paper.
Right. I actually have a couple Walmart special rubber targets that I use. I spray paint them and I shoot those.
Mm-hmm.
And if you spray paint it while the paint's still wet, it doesn't like splatter off. It'll actually just make a little hole and you can see precisely where you hit. Yeah. But I understand what you're saying. Having a steel target, you're not shooting for a spot on the target. You're shooting to hit that particular target. Like that is your target. Where you hit on it is less important.
Pretty much. But anyway. No, I got to make a couple target stands was the whole thing about that. And then, yeah. I just felt really stupid because I actually chucked those out earlier this year. And then a couple days ago, I was like, oh, whoops. So anyway, that's all I got.
Nice.
Well, alrighty then. Dave?
Mm-hmm.
Are you the truck rodeo champion again?
Sadly, no.
Oh, we believe.
Yeah.
No.
I got 5th in loader, 7th in tandem, and then 8th in skid steer this year. Out of like 100 people, but no trophies for me. I don't get to go to. I don't get to go to the state truck rodeo, which happens to be in Estes Park this year, at the end of August, beginning of September, when all the elk are starting to bugle, which would have been fucking sweet.
Yeah, Dave's over here like, oh no, I didn't make it. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, you can't win them all.
I think
I was being a shit today. I was like, trophy.
no, I think your
My
internet had a stroke.
move.
It's,
Oh,
it's still has a stroke. You can't let them slow.
Might have to move.
Dave is that general
how
from.
about now?
I mean, probably good.
He's that one. He's that
Oh,
general
God,
from
no.
Geonosis,
That's
the
terrible.
one that clicks and then adjusts his volume and then talks normally again.
Dude, shit's
Okay.
been blinky on my side all night.
Well, alrighty then.
I'll be right back.
Later, dude. Mike,
So-
what's going on in your life? I want to hear you tell the story of what's coming up, because when you told us how, the way it was supposed to be, I laughed my ass off.
The way what was supposed to be.
The first thing on your show notes.
Prado stuff?
Hold it. Dave tried
yes.
to come in twice. This isn't going to work.
Wait,
Hello?
there's 2 Daves?
Hello?
Well,
Are
I'm
they
going to play on
both
the other. I'm going to kick the other Dave from studio. There we go.
Not this one. Okay. Está bien.
Está bueno.
Yes, está bueno.
Okay.
Tell us about the
Sam.
Molly Racks.
Molly Racks. All right. Now I understand what you were talking about. Okay, so a few weeks ago, I got these Molly Racks from
Sigh.
my dad for Christmas. Yes, sigh.
So Mike didn't
Um,
read the instructions.
There were no instructions. So
China.
I basically found these Molly Racks on eBay, and my dad was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I was like, "These would be cool." And so he got me them. I waited till basically the end of April to try to put them in. And when I go out there, I had already unpacked the packaging. I'd thrown shit everywhere. And by the time I got around to installing them, I went out there, I picked up the 2 Molly Racks, and I went out there and undrilled the oh shit handles, re-drilled the oh shit handles over the Molly Racks, and went, this looks like shit. There's something wrong here. Like, they were 2 or 3 inches away from the windows, and
I like the video you sent where you just kind of twanged on it and went,
Yeah.
"Oh," because it was just free suspending in air at the bottom. It was not.
Yeah, I was like,
anything.
this is terribly designed. Who did this? And
China.
as it turns out, I'm a moron. Which, when things go poorly, it turns out that's the case a lot, unfortunately. So when I said I unpacked and threw shit everywhere, I basically threw all of the mounting hardware onto a chair behind the other car in the garage and totally forgot about it. So by the time I went around to install them, all I had was the 2 panels, and I had totally forgotten about the rest of it. So after I posted the picture and went, what the hell is going on? I go back there, search the garage, like, there has to be more to this. Like, I searched eBay and looked at how they were mounted in eBay, and I was like, that's not correct at all. Then I looked at the ones on eBay and saw what they came with, and I was like, did mine come with that stuff? All I had was the panels. So I go out and
All I had
search
with
the
these
garage
panels and a bunch of wood screws. I don't
Yeah.
understand what happened.
Sure as shit, I had a whole bunch of mounting hardware I didn't use.
Yeah.
So they're in there much safer. Yeah, I'm a moron. I'm aware.
I just thought it was funny. You're like, "Hey guys, what would you any suggestions to fix this?" And I'm like, "Well, I guess you could do X, Y, Z." And then 2 days later, so they were backwards.
Find the rest of it. That's how you
Yes.
fix that.
Need more parts. Not
Yeah.
enough parts.
What are you going to put on those Molly Racks?
On the right side, I believe.
Snacks.
I think the right side is going to be the
Snacks sound
guns.
good.
I think the right side is going to be the rifle and shotgun mounts, and the left side is going to be the. I'm going to put the 1500 watt inverter I've got. I'll permanently install it on the rack. I will put my trauma kit up there, and my jumper cables probably.
Tactical snack pouch. That's what you need on there.
I might get a tactical snack pouch. That would be really cool.
They can go along with like all the tactical baby gear that I get ads
Are
for
they-
now on Facebook and YouTube.
Are they like the tactical ammo pouches where you put your ammo in the pouches? But instead
No,
of
I'm talking
snacks?
like the tactical baby plate carriers where you use babies as body armor.
Is this like dragon scale, but it's called baby scale?
This is
Something. All I
level-
know is it's like a little front carrier and it's all multicam black, so I can only assume it's a plate carrier. And for some reason, there's a baby in it. And I'm just like,
This is-
man, I don't think babies are very bullet resistant, but like, hey, you do you, man.
Well, you got to get the level 12 month, not the level 6 month.
Jesus.
Well, even then, though, it's going to depend on the size.
To be fair, I'm not the one that started this baby armor joke.
Neither am I. Neither am I. This is a well.
You 100% are the one who started the baby armor joke.
No, this has been flying around the internet forever. I stole it from somebody else. Anyway,
You started it currently.
I'm perpetuating.
Anywho,
So
have you fixed the lights on your Prado yet?
What's wrong with them?
The ones that you ripped all the wires out of when you were driving through the bush, and then you came down on coyotes and I was like, "Hey, Mike, what's this?" And you're like,
Oh,
"Oh,
Yeah, it was one single wire that came out of one of the side lights, and yeah, I just popped that right back in. That was no problem.
Did you hook it back up or just push it back in?
No, I hooked it. It ripped out of the crimp, so I went and got a new pin and crimped a new pin onto it and put it back in.
Okay. Well, tell us about your cans.
I'm kind of skinny.
You
I don't
would.
really have any. However, I have a shusher.
Nobody knows what that is.
It makes loud rifles quiet.
No, it doesn't.
Probably
There's no
not.
It makes loud rifles slightly less loud. But I got my Otter
Oh,
Creek
could I-
Pole 30 finally.
Can we screw your suppressor, your brand new suppressor, on my 300 Win Mag and see how long it takes to blow it up?
yep, yep."
I'm pretty sure it's rated for 300 Win Mag.
Want to find out?
It may
Yep.
not be.
I mean,
Maybe.
it probably is. I know what he's
Mhm.
got, and it's
It's the Otter Creek Polonium K, right?
it's maybe a
Yeah.
17.4
Is it
stainless.
K?
Nope.
Is it a K
Pole
or
30.
Is it... Okay,
It's
so
not a K.
That's what I had on my. That's what I borrowed from Brandon on my AR when we did go.
Did they have the Pole
shooting.
30 then, or was that the Polonium?
Oh, I
It's
thought-
the Polonium 30.
His is the Polonium 30. I don't think they had the Polonium 30 whenever y'all went and did whatever the hell.
No, he gave us he put a polonium on mine and he put a polonium on Sam's.
no, I had a Polonium 30 because I were asking specifically what it was because my rifle with absolutely zero tuning. Now it is a 16-inch with a mid-length gas system, so it's not. It's slightly better than like if it was carbine gas or a short barrel, but I wouldn't call it hearing safe, but it was hearing comfortable for a few rounds. Just straight out of the box, screw it on the end of the rifle, and
I mean,
I'm
hearing safe is
super-
a dose limit,
Yeah.
so
I
Yeah,
exceed
so
my
if it's more
doses
than
with
one
angle
shot-
grinder. I exceed my doses with an angle grinder regularly, so I try and just stay comfortable and not safe.
potentially, yeah. I mean, if you're not wearing hearing protection while you're using shop equipment, you may be reaching that dose limit in a couple hours, but
Yeah, what?
yeah.
You can get there in about an hour with a shot back.
Well, if you put it on your ear, yeah,
Oh, just
You're
like in a
using a wrong
garage,
mic.
just shot backing.
get the dust out of my ears.
I got this
Um,
earwax problem, guys.
Thunk. Holy shit! I'm not deaf anymore. Anyway,
No, but
so-
I like that can on my AR, so I'm interested to see what it will do on a larger caliber.
I'm very interested as well. I put it on the 30-06 from GLFA. And as if this rifle wasn't fucking big enough, like Yeah, this rifle comes in screen like the ship from Spaceballs, just like.
Let's say you've got what, like a 21, 24-inch barrel plus, now what, 8 inches of can?
It's still going. We break for nobody.
Oh boy!
Did you do a disc pop?
Now it weighs 20 pounds.
Yeah, basically, my back hurts after lifting it.
That's not saying much.
Did you do a disc pop?
It's not loaded.
Did you check it inside?
I
You got a bucket
always-
of sand, right?
Dude, no shit. All right. So when we were in Afghanistan, I noticed that we would go do exercises like base attack exercises, stuff like that, to keep everybody on their toes. And afterwards, we would utilize our real M4s for these, but we were not to chamber rounds when we were doing such. So at the end of every exercise, we would all go to clearing barrels and mag out, bolt back, clear our rifles. So I see the line. There's like one or two dudes at the barrels, and I see the lines just like they're trying to clear. Two dudes are trying to clear like 200 or 300 people, and so I go to my supervision. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Put me on this. Like, I will help. And they're like, well, have you had the training? I was like, have you fucking met me? And they were like, we'll put you on the list. So I'm helping clear rifles, and this specialist comes in. Specialist, not rank-wise, but that's his job. They specs work avionics and stuff like that on airplanes. So he comes in, he sticks his barrel in the hole, but drops his mag out, racks the bolt, and a round comes flying out. And I was like, and I just looked at him, and he was like, that wasn't supposed to happen. And I was like, yeah, no shit. And he goes, "What? I don't know how did that happen?" And I was like, well, when you got your rifle, what did you do?" He was like, "Well, when I cleared it last time, I opened the bolt, and then I dropped the magazine, and then the bolt was open, so it was clear, and then I put the magazine back in and closed the bolt, and it was still clear, right?" And I was like, "No!
Ooh.
You
Sorry.
chambered around when you did that." And he's like, basically, sorry.
I saw a great video. This is years ago. I saw the video. I've never been able to find it again now. Of some chick going up to a clearing barrel with an M9 and just putting round after round to that thing because she could not figure out why bullets kept going into the chamber.
Is she the same girl who couldn't figure out which side of the car her gas was on and kept driving around in circles on the pump?
That could have been her when she returned to civilian life, but I think she put 4 or 5 rounds in that barrel just because, like, clear it back. And then finally she's like, oh, the magazine.
Huh, that's weird. Huh, that's weird.
That's
Weird.
That's weird. Huh, there doesn't seem to be any key.
It's like the movies. I never run out of ammo.
Shush!
Don't you shush me.
Shush!
See,
Have you shot that yet, Mike?
Not yet.
if he was cool, he'd skip work and come up with me on Friday, but he's going to go to work like a good little person.
Friday's my money day.
Fine.
But yeah, I would love to go if I could.
Is your sour threaded?
It is not. Thank you for asking. That was one of the things I wanted to say. I need to get that to the gunsmith so he can get started on that.
Duct tape.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think duct tape works for can.
Electrical tape.
If you have enough,
Work once.
if you have enough duct tape, it will work.
Look, if you're duct tape, there's a difference between duct taping a 2-liter bottle full of dryer sheets to a 22 long rifle and duct taping a 30 cal can to a 30-06.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
that's
got to
fair.
run a 30 cal dowel rod through both so that you keep concentric, and then do all the duct tape.
Gonna look like a
I
Q-tip
actually
with a
don't
scope.
hate how you've solved this problem.
I mean, I'm not gonna guarantee it work, but it's better than guessing.
Spray paint it tan. It'll look like a Panzerfaust.
Yes.
No, it'll look like that potato suppressor that Jesse James made.
We talked about this.
I can count 2 potato.
1 potato, 3 potato, 4 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, new 300 Win Mag.
Although we had instant mashed potatoes with dinner, and I hate instant potatoes, man. They're so bad. I know Sean over at We Like Shooting likes to talk about his nutrient survival instant potatoes and just like, oh, they're so great. We eat them normally. I'm just like, ugh, they're instant potatoes. They're heresy powder.
Well, if you're gonna eat freeze dried food, it should be like stuff you use normally. You know, it shouldn't be stuff you don't eat. That's all I'm saying.
This is why I don't store freeze. Well, I mean, we bought freeze dried potatoes on a bit of a whim on stuff, just because it was like, oh, these will be quick for dinners, and then a bunch of them. I don't know. We've got some of them that are like, they've got liquid smoke in them because they're supposed to be like bacon or something. Like, Dr. Scary Guy on YouTube, who's the lone sad soul watching us right now on YouTube, says, FYA, wrapping tape around things and applying internal pressure as a pipe bomb. Keep that in mind. We're going to leave the end of the suppressor open. The pressure
only
can escape.
It's only a pipe bomb if it's made of pipe.
Also, how do you know this? Are you building bombs? Do I need to call the ATF on you?
We
Take
might
Sam's old
ask.
jelly.
We might ask Elmer Fudd to stick his finger in the end so it like compresses.
Didn't Mythbusters do that?
I don't know. I
Stick a
saw
finger
it on Support
in
Your
the end of
Local
a barrel.
Sheriff.
Is
I
that
thought
what
they
happened
did
to
too,
Grant
and they blew
Imahara?
off a finger. Jesus, Vince.
Son of a bitch. Jesus.
So that's what happened.
Yes, he died of lead poisoning. God damn. Savage.
I've had that one lined up for like 5 years.
I'm so glad you got to use it on air. That's excellent.
Finally, freedom. So if you're not going shooting with me, what are you doing, Mike, on Saturday? Without me, though, because I have to be home with kids that day. I might go later.
Saturday, apparently, a buddy's coming in town, and we're going to hang out with him.
Oh. So that's why it says not sure when. I just saw that. Never mind.
Yeah, basically. We were
Wait,
supposed
like
to go
you and me, like multiple buddy, or just you, buddy? I'm so
Nick.
confused. Oh, okay. What the hell's he doing here?
Yes.
Fine.
I think he told me, but I don't want to speak out of turn, so
Whatever. Moving on.
Anyway, so he's coming down. We're going to hang out with him a little bit. At least such is so far plan. We are, because it's Nick, there is potentially the range, so that maybe when I get to shoot it. I also, it would be really cool if I could find an adapter for an AR so that I could throw it on one of my ARs as well.
Amazon, sir.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to. Amazon.
Duct
I
tape.
think they're like $25 for 2.
How would you search for it? Half. Oh, son of a bitch.
You can figure it out later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll help you later.
No, I'll be in bed later.
Not right now.
Oh boy.
So
All right.
anyway, I'm gonna, if I can get an adapter delivered by then, I will take an AR and try it out on an AR as well.
So-
I'm stoked. I've only had it about a week.
Was there anything else we wanted to touch on?
Well, yes. So the again, we were supposed to go turkey hunting this weekend, and because Nick's coming into town, we're gonna pass on that, and I really don't know when, because next Sunday, not this Sunday, but the Sunday after, there's apparently a work fishing trip. We're gonna go up to a lake by Victor and do some fishing, so that's not gonna work. Maybe next Sunday. In any case, or next Saturday, sorry. We'll get out there. We got till the end of the month. But
I might actually go to try this weekend. My youngest has been begging me to go, Dave, let's go look for a turkey. And so I've never turkey hunted before, but by God, we might just go poke around.
Take it to Walmart.
Yeah.
Found one. Besides that, I did have. So there's been a really. I'm gonna bring up something stupid, controversial. There's been a thing going around. It started. I heard about it first early last week or the week before. Some of the girls at work were going back and forth with it, and they asked me, and I was like, "That's an easy answer." However, my easy answer is not apparently the common answer or the correct answer if you ask some people. So, if you are in the middle of the woods, the question is geared towards women, but it can be asked of anyone. If you were in the woods, would you rather encounter a man or a bear? Dave.
Squirrel.
Vince.
The correct answer is it all depends.
On what? I can't just move on.
On
for
a whole
you.
hell of a lot of like I don't know. I don't have enough information. What's the dude like? Like, what's he doing? What's the bear like? Are there supposed to be bears where I'm at? I don't know. Like,
Is it a man dressed like a bear?
is
it a man and
it's
a
a
bear
furry.
and a pig?
Yeah.
is it man bear pig? Is it a female man bear pig? I don't know. Like,
Is it woman bear pig?
am I in a place?
It's woman
Where-
style.
Oh my god!
I mean, if it was, the hell's the? I mean, if it was, it could be man boar too. I mean, technically speaking, I'm not wrong.
You're right, and
I don't know. It all just depends. And that's the entire thing. The question that's been going around is designed to get people to say the thing that the person asking the question wants to say. And they want to hear like, oh no, I don't want to be in the woods with a man because bad things are gonna happen, blah 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 blah. And that's what they're looking for. And
I
the entire
understand.
question is like, if I'm in the woods,
your legal analysis of the question wasn't what we were after. We know why they asked the question. We just want to know the answers.
Okay. Regardless of whatever you encounter in the woods, this is why you should carry.
Agreed.
okay, I'll answer. Here's the answer. No matter what I encounter in the woods, I'm the scariest thing in the woods, so I don't care.
Fair. Sam.
I'm ashamed of that answer.
I mean, it's
Alive or dead?
You never specified.
Okay, I have a new correct answer.
stop changing the goalpost.
You don't know. Seriously, alive or dead? Because this is going to change depending on status of living. Because I think I'd rather find a dead bear because it's going to be less like, I might just call CPW and go, yo, I found a dead bear, just so you know. Although if it's a black bear, I might not even do that. If it's a brown bear, I'd be like, first of all, make sure it's not just a cinnamon bear. But if it's a grizzly, I'd be like, yo, CPW, check this out.
Yeah.
And then
And they'd be like, hey, we need you to sign this. We need you to sign this non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah.
I'm not signing that.
I'd be like, fine, but I need you to turn your back while I take this hatchet and remove something real quick. Cool?
All right.
The head, the skull,
That's fair. But both are alive.
man. Unless it's, even if it's a black bear, I'd rather be with a human being because, frankly,
Okay, listen.
even a black bear on a bad day is going to be a bad day. If you catch that black bear because you stuck between her cubs and you wander in between a black bear and her cubs, black bears, even though they have the reputation of being little chickens, a sow black bear will still roll you up and cut you open, and you may not die, but you're going to wish you were for about 2 minutes.
If
Okay,
it's between October 1 and November 1, I really want it to be a black bear.
Yeah.
Fair.
If it's the springtime, too.
Not around here.
So you're doing a classic thing, which is basically fear-mongering your justification into your answer by saying that the bear is terrifying and is going to eat your face. And yes, a bear can be terrifying and can eat your face. However, my answer is still going to be the bear. And the reason is I don't carry a handgun in the woods for bears. I truly carry it to defend against people. Man is the most dangerous predator on this planet. Bears are not predators. They are
False.
they're omnivores.
Tell that to Timothy Treadwell
Let me hear me out before you call me false, Dave.
and his girlfriend.
Hugh Glass has sent you a letter.
Bears are basically animal. They forage. They eat berries. They eat basically anything that they can find, and that includes cornering a 2-day, like literally 2-day-old baby deer in a neighbor's fence line and chomping it just while the mama deer watches. Like, bears will do that shit if they're hungry. However, bears also don't like humans and will stay away from us if they can. You will most likely not see a bear in the woods because they will hear you coming and they'll run away. The very slim exception is when you encounter the bear and you stumble upon her and she's got her cubs, just like the story we heard about was it a couple days ago? Where was it?
No, you talking about in western Montana?
Yeah, in Montana, where the grizzly charged the guy and he dropped it.
Okay. I mean, you say this, predatory bears are a thing too.
Oh, what did he drop it with?
Nobody knows. At
Oh,
least that I know of.
What I mean by predator is mountain lions are predators. They seek out prey to survive. Bears are. They seek out prey, yes, but they seek out literally anything. That I don't scavenger. That's not the correct word either.
omnivore.
Yes, they are omnivores. I said omnivore. But when I say predator, I mean man is an actual predator, like the animal, the species of man.
They're an opportunist.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Fear of getting eaten by a bear. I have met and walked past hundreds of people out before, and you know what? Oh, hi, how you doing? Oh, good. How are you? And you move on with life.
Yeah,
that's been on trail. This is like your average actual. I'd say you're more likely to meet a bear that is seeing humans as prey than you are to meet a psycho killer in the woods who's going to attack you. I think that your odds of hitting the bear are greater than finding psycho killer in the woods.
It's not about hitting the bear. It's about the bear is predictable. The bear's behavior is predictable. A man is not. You don't know who you're encountering in the woods. When you encounter a bear, you know you're encountering a bear. You know what you're getting. With a man, you don't. That's my point.
I think that's...
Predators hunt where there is prey. There is not... If you're a human and you're hunting for prey that is human, you are not in the woods. Because that is not where the prey is. Generally.
It's interesting.
That is that's a really good take on it, actually.
Dave, when you're looking at people, do you check out in the woods or do you go to the town?
Yep. Prey is in the local park, okay? Like
I can't even bring myself to make that joke. Moving on.
Yeah. This tea, though.
I also really don't like people. I don't like talking to people, and I don't want to see people. If I'm in the woods, I want to be alone in the woods, and I don't want to see people. So there's
I'd also
that
question if you ever bumped into somebody in the woods, how are you how are you? I mean, I have seen people from afar when I am out in the actual like middle of nowhere woods, and you know what I do? I find a spot to sit there and watch them for a good long while to see what they're up to and when they're moving off to. If I were to suddenly bumble across somebody in the woods, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go, "Oh, hi, dude," and we're going to pass by, and I'm going to immediately keep an eyeball on him while I beeline up on top of that hill over there, and then see where he goes off to. Or listen to see where he goes off to, because I'm not just like, no, hell, I'd rather much find a person in the woods than a bear in the woods.
That's another fantastic take on it,
Okay.
because this whole question is outlined around the premise that you're supposedly walking through the woods with no situational awareness and then just walk around a corner and boom, there's either a guy standing there or a bear.
And human beings are terrible about moving through the woods quietly. You know what's really good about moving through the woods quietly?
Yeah, we're loud.
Bears.
We
So
are
this
allowed.
is
Which is why I said a bear will
Imagine-
hear you coming and leave.
Dave's turn.
Go ahead, Dave.
so Mike is walking through the woods and he turns the corner and he finds a human and he does exactly what you're supposed to do with a bear to the human. Just gets big, bear spray, draws down.
You know what I just
Get out of here.
Mike is
Get out of here, bear! You get out of here!
Mike is one of the college kids in Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh my God, what a great movie.
That's Mike. Mike is one of those college kids. He's going to automatically assume the worst about poor Tucker and Dale.
He just threw himself into my wood chipper.
I'm so glad you're here. These college kids, there must be like a suicide pact because they're just killing themselves.
If you haven't watched that movie, you need to. That is fucking fantastic.
Mm-hmm. That's a great movie.
I've heard of it. Now I think I have an incentive.
We got your friend. And Dr. Scary Guy in the chat just said, "Hey, college kids." And yeah, we got your friend.
I don't think I have seen this movie. Now I
Oh
need
my
to.
God, you gotta watch it.
It's a reverse horror movie. It's two poor rednecks who are just trying to fix up their cabin. And all these college kids who have all these movies in mind think that they're murdering or they're trying to kidnap them and murder them.
Jesus.
So they keep doing
Howdy,
stuff.
officer. We have had a doozy of a day.
What's this called again?
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yep.
It is a great movie. It's one of those movies that, like, you know, it came out and then it just kind of didn't really go anywhere in terms of, like, you know,
So
nobody
underrated.
cares about it, but it's freaking great.
It's on Prime.
Oh, God, they're evil. They're making her dig her own grave.
Oh my
It's on
God!
Prime?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I couldn't talk. Okay. I remember having the ability. I could have rented that movie at Hastings in like 2013. And I remember looking at it and being like, "That's interesting. I'm gonna not." But
I'm a
now
pass.
I think I made a mistake.
You must have.
Oh my God, it is great.
Yeah, I mean, you say that but it is totally one of those movies where you look at it and you go, I mean, all right, whatever. I'm moving on.
You judge it by its cover, and which is a mistake apparently.
Okay, I think I had something to say, but I forgot it.
When you see a college girl prancing around in front of you half naked, you do not call out my name.
Fantastic.
Or when they're like, okay, we gotta hide all the sharp objects.
All right.
Or he ends up chasing one of them through the woods because he's cutting down a tree with a chainsaw, and he hits a hornet's nest. So he ends up just running off, swinging the chainsaw over his head because he's getting attacked by hornets, and then the kid runs into a sharp like tree post, just impales himself on a tree branch.
Dude, maybe I should do that tomorrow. Drop off my rifle to get it started, because that's probably going to take a long time.
You know,
Mine was like
I never
a
thought
week.
I'd say this, but I'm glad I'm not hung like a bear.
You live in a town of 3 people. My 5 people all want their rifles done at the same time.
Ugh.
Last time I dropped something off with them, it took 3 months to get it back.
Maybe
And
you
all
should
it
drive
was
down
was
to
a
my
chamber
guy.
check.
Maybe you should go to the Sonoran Desert Institute.
Maybe
Do it yourself.
No.
Here's your home lathe.
Next thing you know,
I'd be
had-
about
Mike,
a home lathe.
Mike has unfortunately passed away in an unfortunate lathing accident.
Yeah, he got a sleeve cut in it, and he's been since just spun out all over the walls. Oops.
It's nothing but Camerado and blood everywhere.
Oh, there's no Camerado left. It's just wet meat sounds slapping around now rhythmically.
Oh. Meanwhile,
Another
Sean's
great
like, hey,
memory
I have
of
another
t-
idea.
Another great memory of Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
All right, so
Well,
Okay. Is that the end of it?
I mean,
We hit. Wait, only an hour and 11 minutes? I thought we'd been going longer than that.
when you don't actually go hunting, it turns out it's hard to talk about hunting. Oh,
No,
let's talk
it's
about
more like
talk about
time
gold
flies
panning.
when you're having fun.
We are an outdoors show. Let's talk about gold panning.
I don't have anything to talk about yet. I haven't gone yet. I
Well,
have an
we're
idea
gonna-
where I'm going to go.
I mean, I've got more stuff, but whatever.
Yeah, Vince has tons of stuff. I didn't know if he got through it all.
Vince will never get through it
gets
all.
through it all because Vince always
I've
stacked
seen-
up like 20 items down there, and the next week then every week he gets rid of 2 and he adds 5, and then he gets rid of 2 and he adds 4, gets rid of 2 and he adds 10.
I am very curious about Vince's VDSM. Is that some sort of like fetish thing?
Deal. Don't want to hear about it.
Oh,
Mike.
oh, you finally asked. No, that's simply, very simply, an acronym of our names.
I'll be damned. The
Sure
whole
is.
time I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, I see BDSM
Tricky
user
guy.
service.
VDSM. Yeah, that's just Vince, Dave, Mike, and Sam, or Sam and Mike, whatever.
So you say it LVPO, don't you?
Very dyslexic, stupid Mike.
Shut up, Mike.
And why is this here?
It's
Other
late
than-
at night. I don't know. It just sounds like okay. All right. Anyone else there
It
listening?
sounds like a disease.
It sounds like BDSM. Okay, which
Yes,
if you
we
know,
got that part.
you might know, but it's like if you say VDSM with a Mexican accent, that's like BDSM, senor.
Okay, but why is any of this?
He was bored.
It's just a joke, Mike. It's just a joke.
He was
The
bored.
fact
This,
that-
this exists
It's-
because it was late at night and he was bored. I got it.
This is so much for a joke. I love it. You
The
went
fact
all
that
out.
It is a
VDSM.
total Mike style joke.
It is. Like, I'm so proud of you.
There's no punchline and it lasts forever.
Yeah. And no one's laughing. Perfect.
The fact that
Did
it
you
happens
know
to
that you
say
look like a beaver when you
VDSM.
smile?
You're just on a warpath to piss everybody off, aren't you, Mike?
It's been Mike tonight. It's his time of the month.
It's on his myriad.
No, I want to go.
Javelin, I don't know if you're fucking with me or if you
Look, because he said LVPO.
LVPO. Low variable power up.
I think he just fucked it up. Like I think that's what happened.
I've permanently
Oh, no.
broken javelin
I think-
fangs. He's having a stronk.
Did I? Am I fucked up? I don't. I can't. I don't know. It's been a long day. Been up since 3:30 this morning.
Oof. Oh,
That's about
Vince,
when I got up.
how'd the rifle speed gas block work out?
Okay, actual content. All right, cool.
Yeah. Let's bring
Uh,
it.
Error.
So I finally got damn it, javelin.
Error.
I can finally talk again, and then
For those not watching and listening next week, Javelin Fangs in the chat put L V P O, and then like a minute later, error. Error.
No, nice.
A roar.
Error.
Roar is going in the show titles.
Well, our Disco Nova is now broken. He's a scratching record.
So
I will tell his
Rifle
story
speed.
for him. He managed to fix his rifle speed by being a total hillbilly.
Intriguing. Error.
Okay, so many things have happened. I finally got around to getting the rifle speed installed, getting the
Listen to his
I
voice.
missed the other thing. I was having trouble getting the gas adjusted while I had the handguard installed. And once I learned how to read, I realized that okay, rifle speed has a fix for this. They have throw lever kit that they have, but it's only on a couple of models that they have currently available, and there's more coming along. But what I decided to do in the meantime is I took the adjustment collar that goes around the barrel and I drilled and threaded and tapped that so that I could put screws in it, and so I'd have better ability to adjust it while I had my handguard installed. Because also, something I figured out, there is a half-inch recommended distance that you are supposed to have the adjustment collar extending past your handguard to have enough room there so that you can adjust it. And mine's more like a 1/4 inch or so. So I kind of did the redneck gunsmith thing and just used my local drill press that's sitting on my front porch to accomplish that.
Good place for it.
Yeah. So once I got that done, I got that put on there. Like, okay, that's working well. I got it welded, pinned and welded. Not real pretty for reasons and stuff, but it's effective and does the job. And I finally got out to shoot it, and it works just fine. It works like it's supposed to. I went out and shot it, and it's got 12 settings right now, and right now it's fully operable, I think, on setting 3. Now setting 3 is, if you have it on setting 1, that's the lowest you have. That's the lowest amount of gas you can put into the system. And on setting 2, it did not grab the next round out of the magazine. But on setting 3, it locked back completely on an empty mag. So what that tells me is that as of now, if I lighten my recoil spring or buffer weight at all, shut up, Dusky.
He says when you live in a closet, I guess the drill press goes to the porch. Oh, he's on fire tonight.
Vince, you're shooting suppressed, correct?
Yes, I'm shooting suppressed. So with a suppressor on, you need to turn the gas down because it's increasing the pressure and you want to have not as much gas in there. So I have plenty of room if I wanted to shoot unsuppressed to open it up. But if I wanted to drop the buffer weight or spring weight any, I would need to get a different part from rifle speed so that it can occlude more of the gas flow. And I kind of considered doing that because I kind of want a JP silent capture spring, but I may just put that off because it's working fine as it is. But on setting 3, it's working how it's supposed to. And if I went to do anything with it, I'd probably put it on setting 4. But that leaves me plenty of room. If I wanted to go unsuppressed, I could just turn it up 2 or 3 and it would probably be fine. I have not shot it unsuppressed yet because I'm not a savage. But right now, I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. I'm pretty pleased with it.
Does rifle speed have anything that'll shut the gas completely off? Or will it always bleed a little?
So as far as I can tell, if you want to shut the gas completely off, you need to do the opposite of what I have. So there's a pin that goes into the gas block itself, and the collar pushes that pin in and out depending on how far you have it, turned. And the pins themselves are different lengths. So you could get a longer length of pin, and what that would mean is that rather than being on setting 3 at proper operation, you were on setting 8 or 9 or maybe even 10. And then if you turn it all the way down to 1, it's just pushing that pin further and further in. So something like this, and then you're taking the pin and you're going further in like this, and you're pushing it so that it's cutting it off completely. And
that was an excellent demonstration.
You're welcome. And if you did that, you would have to be kind of on the other side of your operation as far as the gas flow goes. And I think you could pull that off, but you would have to get different pins from Rifle Speed that just kind of put the gas operation where you want it. And at this point, like, if it gets any hotter around here, I can't turn the gas down enough to make it stop working. That's almost where we're at with mine, which I don't mind. I really don't, because as it gets colder, I can just turn the gas up and it'll work just fine. And if it gets dirty, I can turn the gas up and it'll work just fine. But if you're using something like a 300 blackout and you wanted to shut the gas off completely for subs, you would need a different part so that you could turn it off completely and make it work the way you want it to.
This is why Rifle Speed goes to 12.
It goes to 12, and then I think there might be 12 different pins that you can choose from. I don't know. There's a few.
144. Nice.
So many settings. Yeah. So, yeah, you just kind of got to figure out what you need for your specific system and what you want it to do.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I want one for the. I want one now.
Now, when is he going to make it an
it's-
AK and just have perfection to start with?
Javelin asks, what makes the seal in the block? It's kind of like, I don't know. It's almost like a shutoff valve for your like water supply or anything like that. Like that screws down, and you're screwing it down, but to really adjust it further in or further out, you have different lengths of what's the word? I don't know. It's a little pin that goes further in or further out depending on how long the pin is. Because the detents on the adjustment collar, there's 12 of them, they stay the same, but by adjusting the length of the pin that you're pushing in or out, you adjust how much gas is allowed to go back into the gas tube to the action.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Sam is sleepy.
No.
Oh, sleepy Sam.
You're just trying to project your own tiredness onto me.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sleepy. I'm not projecting. You
Quit
just
sharing your old.
It's contagious. Ew.
What? I couldn't hear you.
Ew.
I'm too old. Being old's contagious too. Look, I'm infecting you all with my old.
Don't do that to our listeners.
Get your Sega Genesis away from us.
Genesis. It was the
No.
best.
Must log into stream.
Need to play Jurassic Park at the dentist's office.
At the dentist's office?
What?
Yeah, they had a Genesis with Jurassic Park at it at our dentist's office.
Oh, that's so hot.
We always showed up like 20 minutes early so we could play.
Yes.
Some other kids playing it. Get out of the way!
That's okay. We knew the other kids wouldn't have long because they showed up on time. And then
You could
because we
knock the
showed up
tooth
early-
out, and it would be
I
fun.
tell you what was a great day when you got to Walmart and nobody was on the PlayStation
Yeah.
controller.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
actually worked.
and you could see what new games were out there.
Well, that or your parents go shopping and you just go, yep, see you later.
Walk out of there with a neck hurting.
Staring up at it.
All right. Well,
About
that'll
that
do,
time,
man.
chaps.
Pig.
I see what you did there, and I enjoy it.
All right. Well, support the sport and take a buddy hunting. Get some trauma training so you don't die. I mean, if you do die, it's your problem, not mine. Search for Let's Go Hunt on YouTube and Reddit at our Let's Go Hunt podcast. Watch out for the porn, though, because it's contagious. And if you haven't yet, please follow us on Instagram. We are shadow banned like a motherfucker right now, so getting followers from listeners is the only way that we can grow. That's how you know we're cool. Links available at firearmsradio.net. I know I didn't write that because it's far too informative. If you enjoy the show, tell your friends and family about us. Oh, bad music. Check the show notes for info on Initiative 91, the band of cat hunting in Colorado. Thanks for listening, and let us go hunt.
We
Um,
have
I was
quite
going
the
to point.
variety.
It's
gonna
either
point out
woman
that if you
sow
search for
sow or
Let's Go
Horsey
Hunt on-
Comrade.
If you search for "Let's Go Hunt" on YouTube, you're going to find Baby Shark. It'll take digging.
Take me to
Is it Horsey
Baby
Comrade?
Shark.
Town.
Is it Horsey
Take me
Comrade or
to-
woman sow sow?
Skunky Town.
Horsey Comrade.
All
Won't you
right.
Take me to Skunky
Horsey
Town.
Woman South.
All right. Good night, Javelin. Go to bed, you Florida man. Good grief.